Gamete formation. Male. Haploid gametes produced by meiosis are called spermatozoa. Spermatogenesis begins at puberty and continues throughout one's life, under hormone and environmental control. Female. Haploid gamete produced by meiosis is called a noocyte. Cell divisions at the end of meiosis 1 and 2 are uneven, so one cell gets most of the cytoplasm, the egg, and the other 3 are called polar bodies, don't participate in reproduction. Important. Female gametes are stuck in prophase 1 until puberty. Complete meiosis 1 every month and the secondary is released from ovary. Female gametes only reach and complete meiosis 2 if they are fertilized. Mitosis versus meiosis. Meiosis results in the production of 2 genetically identical diploid cells. Daughter cells have sets of chromosomes identical to each other and to parent cell. Mitosis allows body to grow and replace other cells. Asexual reproduction. Meiosis results in 4 genetically different haploid cells. Meiosis is how sexually reproducing organisms make gametes. Embryology and reproduction. Embryology. Zygote. Blastula. Gastrula. Zygote formation. Cleavage. 4 cells. Morula. Blastocyst. Embryology. Zygote. When male gamete fertilizes female gamete, gametes fuse, making one new cell with chromosomes from both parents. Zygote will divide into 2 new cells, each of those into 4 and so on. Cleavage. Division of embryonic cells to form 2 new cells. Genetic material is copied before each cleavage. Blastula. Hollow ball of cells. Gastrula. When blastula implants itself on the uterine wall, to get nourishment from mother. Ball of cells composed of 3 layers. Germ layers, undifferentiated. Differentiation begins. Stages of embryo development. Male gamete fertilizes female gamete. Formation of zygote. Zygote cells divide into morula. Dense ball of 64 cells. Blastula/blastocyst. Hollow ball made up of a single layer of cells. Implants onto the female organ called the uterus. Gastrula. When 3 germ layers begin to differentiate. Fetus. Organogenesis has occurred. Stages of early development. Implantation. When blastocyst secretes enzymes that digest the soft tissue of the endometrium, the lining of the uterus and the implants on the uterine wall of the mother. After implantation, differentiation can occur. Gastrulation. When the 3 germ layers form in the embryo, cells in blastocyst begin to differentiate into 3 germ layers. Blastocyst now becomes a gastrula. Neurulation. Development of the nervous system. Mesoderm tissue develops into the notochord, which becomes spinal cord with an enlarged end that eventually becomes the brain. Embryo becomes a fetus when the structures of the developing embryo have become distinguished. Cells have differentiated into their permanent role in that organism. This occurs during first trimester. Gastrula. Germ layers. Differentiation. The process by which a cell develops in different ways to perform different functions, begins with the forming of 3 germ layers. Ectoderm. Outer layer. Forms skin, nerves and sense organs. Mesoderm. Middle layer. Forms bones, muscles and connective tissue. Endoderm. Inner layer. Forms digestive system and lungs. stages of fetal development. First trimester 0 to 3 months. Second trimester 3 to 6 months. Third trimester 6 to 9 months. Implantation on uterus wall. Gastrula forms. Organogenesis occurs. Body structures become distinguishable. Embryo is now called a fetus. Fetus is very active, feel movement. Fetus increases in size. Heartbeat can be heard. Fully developed eyes. Lungs begin to develop. Lungs become fully developed. Central nervous system develops. Brain is actively growing the most. Fetus can begin to regulate body temperature, maintain homeostasis. Layer of hair forms on head. Important glands that regulate the release of gametes. Female. Male. Pituitary gland and the testes regulate the release of hormones that stimulate the production of testosterone. Pituitary gland and the ovary regulate the release of hormones that stimulates the production of estrogen. The hormones that regulate both male and female gamete formation are LH luteinizing hormone, FSH follicle stimulating hormone. Reproduction Part 2. Things to know about the reproductive systems. Male. Female. Function and location of testes, seminal vesicle, prostate gland, vas deferens, urethra, epididymis. Function and location of ovaries, oviduct, uterus, cervix, seminal fluid plus sperm equals semen. Testes, organs that produce and store millions of male gamete spermatocytes after puberty, when testosterone is produced. Contain hundreds of tiny coiled tubes called seminiferous tubules, production of gametes. Epididymis, structure that sits on top of testes. Spermatocytes produced in seminiferous tubules leave and travel here to mature. Vas deferens. Mature spermatocytes leave epididymis and move into these tubes that extend upward from the scrotum to the abdomen. These tubes eventually merge with the urethra, seminal vesicle and prostate glands. Glands that line the reproductive tract. Glands that produce liquid, seminal fluid, that carries male gametes out of the body. Seminal fluid, nutrient-rich fluid that nourishes and protects male gametes from the acidity of the female reproductive tract. Seminal vesicles are attached to the vas deferens, the tube that the spermatocytes travel through. Urethra. Tube that carries mature gametes out of the body through the penis, always responsible for carrying urine out of the body. Seminal fluid plus sperm equals semen. Path of male gametes. Testes contain seminiferous tubules, gametes produced. Epididymis, gametes mature and are stored. Vas deferens, gametes travel. Urethra, gametes travel out of the body. Female reproductive system. Ovaries, produce, store and release eggs. Female gonads that produce oocytes and estrogen. Contains about 400,000 primary oocytes, contained in protective cluster of cells called follicles. Only 400 eggs will be released. Every 28 days one follicle moves to edge of ovary, follicle breaks open and egg is released into oviduct, FT. Oviduct/fallopian tube, FT. Where fertilization occurs if male gamete is here. Cilium ovega long. Development of embryo, morula and blastula occur. Dumps egg into cavity called uterus. Uterus. Site of attachment of the fertilized egg, implantation. Provided nourishment to embryo. End of uterus is the opening called the cervix. Cervix. Opens up to canal, vagina, that carries unfertilized oocyte or completely developed fetus out of the body.